Cool. 224. Basic calculator. Implement a basic calculator to evaluate a simple expression string. The expression string may contain open and closing parentheses, the plus or minus sign, non-negative integers, and empty spaces. Why is non-negative? I mean, I guess it's important. Negative spaces. And empty spaces. Yeah. Okay. Do not use the built-in function. I guess that makes sense because I think in like JavaScript or something like that, like you just do UL and in Ruby or something, and that will kind of make this trivial. Okay. Yeah, these things are always tough. Uh, especially if we get an interview. I mean, I think I've seen variations of this on an interview, but usually, they're not as they give you, reverse, reverse Polish notation, which is way easier because you could do everything in one stack and stuff like this. But like the infix is always a little tricky. Um, but this one is pretty straightforward, so it is something that like most people should have seen before, um, and it's just and this one I think this one is actually a bit easier in the sense that there are no so these are observations I'm noticing, where there no there's no consideration for order of operations because plus and minus are the same. The only thing that makes it tricky is parents, but you can actually because of that reason you can actually yeah figure that out. And I would do something. There are a couple ways to do it. You could do it with a stack, especially in this case. It seems pretty okay. You could do it with recursive descent, which is always fun. Um, but how do I want to do it? Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll just do it with a recursive descent type thing with a recursion. I guess not really recursive descent, but okay. Because I think everything is. I mean, I guess you could just do it with stack. Yeah, let's just do it with stack. Okay. Let me actually first replace all the empty spaces. What the? What? And then now we can just for I think the other thing that they don't tell you is that may be a little bit tricky, and they don't show you an example of this, is kind of numbers with multi-digit numbers. Definitely something that maybe is a little troubling, depending on how you do it anyway. Um, but yeah, okay. I gotta remember not to use while loops or for loops, because I feel like I do silly things. Let's say n, where n is okay. So now let's say we if that's index. So now we want to the current is equal to 0. Okay, so then we push the current number in the stack. I guess it's a little weird actually. Or like in the beginning, because then there's no operation, so then stuff number would just continue to be on the stack. I guess this is a valid string, but okay. Let me be more precise. And now we can set current is equal to 0. Else okay. Otherwise, then we have the current I have to do. This is a little weird. Maybe the way I'm doing is a little weird actually. I mean, I guess I'm just doing it implicit. Okay, I'm going to do it with an actual stack, maybe. I mean, an implicit stack. Um, then that'll keep my states a little bit easier to maintain. Okay. Naming is hard. Let's do calc. So now given an index, we want to. Oh, yeah, okay. I mean, maybe. I think not every recursion is DFS. It pissed me off a little bit when everyone labels every recursion thing as DFS. But I get your point. Okay. So, okay. If S index is equal to, then let's just return current. Oh, whoops. This should be return calc of index plus 1. Oh, that's why, because I do need a global E thing. It's been a while since I implemented stuff like this, actually. But, and then, wait, what? Oh, something like that. Return current. Now, okay, now gets the fun part. Index is equal to, let's get number, get num. Oh yeah. And then now here, my job is given in current index, get a number starting from index. For okay. Naming things is so hard. That's what I'm trying. N index is equal to index. While n index is less than n, and n is numeric. And then now we can Oops. This is way error prone though. Oh, I said that as I make a typo, but yeah. Is that everything? I guess so. There are no negative numbers. Yeah, naming is hard. But that in this case, it means that I'm not terminating somewhere. What is the? Oh, no, I do handle spaces already. So okay. Print. It's everything else always increments. So everything should be moving forward. Plus, did I? I guess technically. Is my replacing wrong? I know that's right. No, that part is right. Oh, I just don't do anything with it. It starts with a number. Okay, so that's the default. I forgot about that case. Okay, so, okay. Well, in this case, we don't need this, but we code is equal again number. The starting of an expression. Okay. One thing I would also say that, and I've gotten unfortunately good about this, is learning to debug. But oh, I say this as I have to demonstrate this a little bit. But here's something that is actually valuable in an interview. I get asked about that all the time, so it's something that I'll think about. I mean, and all of us have done it before, so yeah. Where am I doing? But because of course the better way is to get it right the first time, which is easier said than done. But okay. So this is the 0, 1, 2, 3. Why is it not hitting here? That's weird. Oh, because I do a plus and then I get the next one. Okay, I guess that's fair. I did not handle that case. I actually got down in an interview once, and I think I didn't express myself super well, but I got the bug. I was just like, oh yeah, this is clearly wrong because your for loops are reversed or something like that. But I thought this would. I guess when you plus, it doesn't always have to be a number. So maybe this is better. No, but then if you actually get a number, then that's. No, maybe that's okay. Let's take a look and see what happens. Oh no. No. What's wait what? -1. Well, I got the last one right. 2 minus 1 plus 2 is definitely 3. Oh, because okay, so maybe that's too aggressive because it takes the entire thing. Because now it's treating the entire thing as a suffix. Uh, hmm. Which can be a thing, like for example, which I want to put as an example, but like 3 minus 1 plus 2 should actually be 0. But that means I have to be a little bit smarter. I don't like parsers enough. Maybe I need to practice that next. Okay, so that part is right, but for the same reasons that I get the next part wrong. Hmm. How do I ensure that this only for the next entity, but only if the next entity is not a paren? That's a tricky one. I guess I could just check it out. Okay, let me think about how I want to do this. I just check. I guess it could only be, after a plus, it could only be numbers of paren. But this is now getting ugly. But, well. There's definitely some opportunities for drawing myself as well. But let's see. I think we're close, even if it's very yucky. I think there are some complicated cases that I want to try. What should that answer be actually? 5 minus 3 is 2 minus negative 1 is 3. Yeah, but my answer is wrong. Oh, because it now assumes that it is the same as this, which is not. That is interesting. Okay. And that's why you stick to established patterns. How do I fix that then? Well, you have to be able to. Yeah, But how does this work? Well, it does one. It does a negative. It does 1 plus 2. But then it should end here, right? And then it should pop. But I am doing something silly, clearly. I guess I should have done it a little bit better with the recursive descent. But just thinking about how I want to fix this really. Why is that? So I mean I know what it's doing, but why is it doing that? Guess I just don't match the parents correctly at the end of the day. But they should return. Right. Oh, hey, thanks for the follow, GC Bourbon. Or Burden. Oops. Hope you're having a good day. What university? I graduated university a number of years ago, so um, but I am just practicing doing some maths. Uh, Hope you're having a good day. Um, did I? I think someone told me to make it shorter, so I try to make it shorter, but I don't know. These things are. But yeah, I have a lot of years of experience, and I don't mean to say there's a braggy kind of way. I'm just, you know. But yeah, start at 0, and then 2, and then 3. Where's the return? Why doesn't this happen? Does this happen? Oh, no worries. No, I mean, if you're confused, that means it's my. I didn't do a good job of making myself clear, so no worries. I don't take offense at it at all. I also get the other thing where I look young. Get that as a comment a lot. So yeah, no worries. No, I mean, I think right now I'm just in general trying to find something that's a good fit. What the? Why am I popping multiple times from the same index? Yeah, I mean, right now I'm just practicing in general, trying to find something that's a good fit. Nothing really specific. Trying to figure out what to do in my life in general, perhaps. But as one does from time to time. But so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 8 and 9 again, and then it pops it. Why does it pop? Dude? I guess this pops 13, and then again. Well, because then now is that end, so then it goes all the way back up. Oh, because I get it. Because I'm using calc, assuming that, or like when I wrote this, this has a presumption that it starts with that paren. So if it doesn't, because I do this hacky thing, it doesn't pop enough. Okay, I guess that makes sense. No worries, thank you. Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of luck in this world, so definitely could use as much of it as possible. Definitely, it was a very lucky chance that got me to my last job. So, you know, such is weird life. But no, but this only happens if is that true? This only happens if it is a paren, but I don't re-increment. Maybe that's why. Okay, let's try that. Because we have to yeet up a character. I should relearn recursive descent. It's been a while, I think, since I since I do it because I think I'm doing some like hacky thing instead of like parsing tokens and then matching stuff. I gotta reread that up. It doesn't come up that often, but when it does, it always makes me a little sad that I'm not as familiar with it because that is actually somewhat practical. In that you know people do implement these things all the time, so it's good to have a mental model of it. Anyway, so how long did that end up taking me? 26 minutes, not too bad, not too great either. Pretty straightforward in understanding this problem. I think it's just implementation, except for that implementation is like there's not big algorithms on this problem, but definitely implementation is always a little tricky to get all the tokens right. And this is a case where um, like everything is well formed. I think if it's not, then it could be really messy. And I made assumptions here that you couldn't get away with. So I think one thing about this, my comment in general, is that so I have actually gotten an interview question like about I would say, and this was in the finance days, so probably like I would say 15 years ago or something like that on parsers. I think these things are very uh, uh, on parsing is something that some people really like, especially if you're doing more low level stuff or for whatever reasoning you have to do some like language parsing thing, which is something that I don't advocate at all in general. But so definitely, and yeah, and we were into that. Definitely read up and study up and actually practice a little bit on recursive design. But I would also say that it's probably not the best bang for your buck. Uh, it's something that I will do because I actually do want to get a little bit better about this because I feel like every time I've seen this or something similar, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna do this hacky way and then read up the clean way later. And it's been a while, it's possibly a decade since I've done it cleanly. So I gotta think about it again. At least for infix type stuff, definitely if um, it gets way easier if you're doing like postfix notations or the reverse Polish notation, stuff like this. But yeah, well, a fun problem. I mean, I look at each character at most once, so this is linear time, even though it's a bit of a mess. But yeah, cool. That's all I have for this one, really. Yeah, I mean, it's yucky. At least my code is yucky. The problems are fine, but yeah, cool. Actually, let me click on solutions. Might as well, maybe. The problems are about understanding following. That's good. I mean, that's what I was. That's what I think I mentioned these in the beginning. Um, I mean, parentheses are the little tricky one. Oh yeah, yeah. I guess I should have done a stack, and then that was the way that I was kind of thinking of doing it. But you have to be really careful to do it right. Uh, in the reverse stack order. But another stack one. Haha, I guess they didn't think about the way I would do it, which is, I mean, to be fair, I did use, I'm essentially using a stack. It's just that I did an implicit stack instead of an explicit stack with a running variable. But you can get into trouble, so you have to be careful about stuff like this. I think the cases are essentially the same, except they have much cleaner stuff. But they have a lot more comments, so maybe that's why. But same idea though. Okay, cool. I just didn't want to deal with putting signs and stuff like this on the stack. That's why. But maybe I should have.